Alrighty then, mic check, mic check. Welcome aboard, ladies and gentlemen. It is great to have you guys with me. So it is day 6 of the Small Account Challenge, and I am now losing to the roster. Make sure you're following us over here on Facebook, and of course, especially here on Instagram. Having a lot of fun right there. You are missing out if you are not catching up on Instagram stuff. It is a lot of fun over there. And of course, here I am. Ross is smashing me, folks. Let's talk about what's happening here with our trading competition here on day 6, although we're still trying to figure out what day Ross is on. If somebody can help me out and tell me what day Ross is on, because I think he's on like day 1, part 2, part 5 of day 2, plus 1, minus 1, day 1, restart, recap, rollover, start over. But he is winning because, folks, I cannot trade in a bus. The brother is absolutely killing me in bus trading. He is driving around right now in a bus. If you don't know what I'm talking about, he was like, you know what? I'm going to smash Vinny so hard in this trading competition. I'm going to drive around in a bus while I beat Vinny. And it's making me a little bit nervous. He's literally driving around in his massive front yard in a bus, in a vintage, I don't know what year, so don't quote me on this. I think it's 1970 or 1960 Volkswagen bus. Yeah, you need to go check out his video and just see what... Somebody help me out explaining to me what is going on. But folks, I will just tell you right now, we have reached our limits. What we cannot do with Algobox, I cannot trade in a bus. I cannot tell you and feel okay about telling you to try to get a multi-screen setup inside of a bus. Now, I will put out, you know what? Actually, we do have a member who is doing this. I'm gonna have to contact Doug and see how he's doing in an RV. Now, I don't know if that counts or not, but he's got a really awesome travel RV that he's riding around in, and he's got I think it was a 4-screen setup. Doug, correct me if I'm wrong. I think it's 4, but if you can post us a picture of your setup again in our Discord trade room so you guys can check out what Doug is doing, but I don't think I could do it. I think he's got me beat. I'm from Texas. I drive a big, jacked up Ford F-150, 4x4, you know, the cool stuff on it. But I don't think I can trade in it, I'll be honest. So he's got me on that. But let's look at the results. So current stats today, day 6, we cleared 1474, profit factor 420, 4.2. Folks, that means that my winners were 4.2 times the size of my losers, 69% profitable. Not too bad, not too bad at all. It was actually all done in about 20 minutes of trading. Again, the volatility is up. I told you guys before this is what was going to come. Why? How could we predict that this was the time of year we were going to get that? If you said earnings report season, you are a winner. Don't believe all that stuff you're hearing on CNBC and all that kind of stuff and going, oh, well, the market didn't like that. And well, listen, there are things that just occur in cycles and technical things that are going on in the markets, like earnings report season coming up here, and we're at highs, all-time highs, contract rollover, all that kind of good stuff. We said that these next few weeks are going to be highly volatile, which was awesome. Okay, so I'm going on and on about how we told you it was going to happen. So it was quick this morning on those trades. We did 5 trades for that 1474. You guys want to watch the video? I'm going to go to a couple sections in this video, so that's what I'm pulling up right here. If you guys are wondering, like, why is the label duplicated? Let me try this window here real quick. It's going to be an easier view. Okay. All right. So we're going to review this. So I started out the morning here looking at the high time frames. We talked about this. I'm really expecting that. You see that right there? That is the equivalent of a double cross, double move on a 24 range, folks, here on ES. This could be a very large move. If you are measuring from here, right, double leg is going to be up here somewhere, so watch for that. But when that happens and when that hits, I believe that would be the spot to look for the tumble and some pullback. Remember, buy the rumor, sell the news. The news is coming out here because all of these companies are going to be doing earnings report season. I think everybody's expecting some big numbers. So again, this has been moving up. I expect a shift off of that if I'm having to predict the future. But then again, lucky for us, we're using Algobox and we don't have to predict. All we have to do is react. So speaking of react, let's go to trade number 1. I'm going to turn the sound off on this and go ahead and play this at 2x speed here. And I do recommend you guys go play this in real time. Okay, so I'm entering in on this trade. This is a what? What do we got here? Oh, shoot. Okay, pretend like that's not there. There was a double dot here first. That was the initial entry on the position. So another dot shows up. Yikes. What do we do on the third dot? If you guys know double dot, and then a third dot shows up, what do I do? If you said go long, you're wrong. So be careful about that. what I just said here. This is all about kind of some things we need to think about here. I'm just going over this to help, right? Here we go. Third one, I want to reverse. Not only does this turn into the third dot scenario here, but I also get a bunny ear at the same time. Okay, bunny ear looks like this. Dot right there. You see why I call it the bunny ear? Okay, we got a bunny ear. This is only in Algobox. I'm just kidding. It's probably somewhere else too. But yeah, there's our bunny ear. It shows up here. Watch how it forms, and then the break of this one. Again, really tricky trade. First trade of the morning ends up turning into 2 trades. First one, I'm getting long off of the double dot. I add to my position here, hoping she's going to go, and then I realize, oh shoot, look what else we've got here. What is that? That is a red PRZ. So enhancing the fact that this bunny ear and the triple dot should have been a reverse right here, and I shouldn't have really been trying to, you know, make more out of this move up than I already had. This is a nice little move right there, and yes, this can be the end of a move, and we come back down, and sure enough, that's exactly what happened. Did I know that at the time? No, but watch how this played out. Okay, so we go play. Here I go, I'm adding to that position as that dot comes in, and then I'm realizing, oh shoot. So you guys wanna go back and play into what I'm talking about right here. We got Delta also shifting in right here, coming in right on the king. What's that? That is a Delta King play. I close out the position going, oh shoot. So that is a minus 325, if you guys saw that. Okay, so minus 325 on that first trade. Now I'm going back into position, breaking up underneath. How do we do it? Underneath, I wanna get as close to that dot break, underneath the dot break, as I can get. Okay, so if the dot is right there, I want to be entering in right up underneath it. I'm kind of behind on that. I'm not too far off, but I am underneath the red zone. Would have liked to gotten a little bit closer on that had I been making that decision. It's a little bit hard when you're trying to stream and do these things quickly, especially when the market was moving this fast. The market was on a clip here this morning. The volatility is up, which is good for us. VIX up, ticks up, but that is the play. So this is trade number 2 coming down here, and I'm looking for the reversal coming off of multiple things. Now the high time frame, I've got the Delta King, right? That right on that pink line. That is a king timing. Comes right in. I've got the cross there to help out with that position, and a bunny ear. All reasons for me to go ahead and flip that. And remember, we were just histogram red here as well. So lots of opportunities to go ahead and hold this position for a bit as we're coming off of the 5s. It's not just a 2 play. Does everybody understand that too? Because here's something that some people miss on our trades. Figuring out when to hold positions, when to look for target 2, when to look for extensions. Here's my rule of thumb. If you are getting something that's only coming off of this chart, this one, it's only coming off of this chart. Look, I'm only trying to get T1, T2 tops, okay? I'm not trying to shoot the moon with that, okay? But if it's coming off of this chart plus this chart, this is where we start to thinking about runners. You have to at least have these 2. If you're adding this one with it, now we're talking about really having the confidence to go, go a little bit bigger and hold out things for longer. That's the key. Okay, you got the rule of thumb coming in right here, target 1, target 2. We get something else, then you start to look at runners, because I think you guys have been seeing me do runners lately because we've been getting them right now because the volatility is up. But don't get, don't come into an illusion of, oh, okay, every trade needs to have a runner. I've found a lot of traders have that struggle if they're like, all of a sudden they make this shift to push out runners, but then they're just giving up target 1 and target 2 plays. I mean, there'll be hundreds of dollars into profit and not taking any at all. And I don't want to create that. I'm not a big person on saying things like, well, you can't lose money by taking profits. I'm not that kind of thing. I do think that you need to have the opportunities to push those out as we do, but be wise with it. You follow the rules. If it's coming off of this one, small, coming off of some others, now we can look for runners. Make sense? All right. 3 charts to help make your decision off of your entry charts. Let's play this through. Watch how this keeps on going at double X speed here. Red dot, I should be adding to position. There I go. I press the red button. We're adding to position. I get the red dot pushing in. King timing is way over here, so I've got plenty of time for this trade to play out.
Fib dot, NASDAQ on the 2s.
There's my first PRZ that breaks, so we can hold here. I would be adding to position there, except I'm at max position count here because I'm trading a small account. Yeah, I can only do 5 contracts in my current account at starting with the 2500
on the 2s.
Those are the rules. There's my exit right there. See that green dot? So I'm starting to think about exiting. There we go. We take some off the table. I'm pushing out my runners. Now look at where I'm putting my runners right here. You see that right there? If you've been around my crew, my program, you know what we're doing right there. I just moved those targets to the 2 PRZs. Those are those 2 lines that show, those 2 gold lines that should have showed up right there. Those are going to be PRZs from a harmonic, right? In this case, 2 harmonics. So I'm putting 1 target right there, 1 target right there for our runs, and we see where we go. Now let me pull it back just a hair. If this doesn't go back too far, hopefully. Okay, right there. You see how you can see the top one? I don't know if it was covering it a minute ago. So my original targets were there from my ATM, and I'm pulling them up. Boom, right there to that one. Boom, right there to that one. This is how I'm managing runners and knowing exactly where we're targeting, right? Here we go. Putting it up there, we get that dot break. I could be adding to position right there, but I don't. We close out the position for 2. I was nervous because, again, we had just taken a loss first and then switched up there. Sometimes I might have taken a little bit more on that, but that was a great play there. So we went from minus 350-ish to plus 380 on that from the flip side back down the other direction. On that trades 1 and trades 2, let's go to another one that we want to see here. This is the 3rd trade, YM short. Okay, so now that one was on RTY. This one is coming in on the YM, and this is the HMD off of the 5s.
Harmonic pattern.
Up top
NASDAQ
here,
on the
and
2s.
we've got red up here. We are red coming into the YM, breaking down here. We got the histogram starting to turn red. Lots of opportunities here. You could even read this as a double cross, double move here coming off the top. The one that I had mentioned this morning that I wish I would have hit was that one right there. Come on, that is just screaming at you to take the short. That is a headshot double cross right there. Boom. And you know, that's the biggest play entry right there. And if you're exiting runners, could have exited there. I was already in an RTY trade, so I did make this comment this morning that I wish I would have hit that one. And I think some of our members probably hit that one right there if you had YM on your radar first instead of RTY like I was looking at there on our stream. That was a nice play. So what did I exit on? Exit on the green dot showing up right there. Where this is large timing right here, this is king timing right here. That's a nice spot with a green dot. Good place to take off that profit. Now we're up 480 on trade number 3. Let's move forward. Add to position, maximizing a trade here. Okay, so now we are, what is this? This is a long headshot. So I got a headshot coming in right here. And look at the target. You see that right there? That is a PRZ target. Did I have anything up top? No. So all I have is a PRZ target right there. This is a pure headshot play off of king timing to the long side. Did I have MACV with me? No. So I need to be careful with this. I can already tell I don't have MACV with me, so I'm not going to be a superhero here, right? I'm not looking to, you know, make some big trade out of this play. The only thing I'm taking this off of, this is a perfect example I said earlier. If I've got only something off of this chart, what should I be looking for?
Harmonic pattern.
Target
NASDAQ
1.
On the 2s.
No, audio person. No, we're just looking for target 1 because all I have it is on one chart. So I want to hit that target right there. I should be targeting just that right there. But I'm dumb, and look what I did. Look at me. This is a mistake, right? I'm getting excited about it. I'm not paying attention. I see green here, but I'm not paying attention that no, I'm actually red. Histogram's turning red and all of that, and I'm only taking a trade. I have nothing here to give me an entry. I've got nothing here to give me an entry, so what should I be targeting here? Target 1. MACV is not with me. I've got nothing on the 5s. I'm literally trading this as a pure
NASDAQ on the 2s.
2s play. I should not be trying to push for more right here. I should be really focused in, lasered on this, and this one ends up giving me a little bit of problem, and I eventually go, okay, hold on, I figure it out, and it does not even get there. Watch this. Watch this thing. Look at that. Misses me by a hair tick, but that's the thing. This is this is not a strong play here, right? Because I realize, I think some point in here, I realize like, dude, I don't have MACV with me. Yikes, missed me by a hair. I'm getting nervous about this play here. I think I end up, as it's coming up, I feel like I end up closing this out. I don't remember. Let's see. Come on, Vinny. Trade well, bro. I add to position. Yikes. Okay, I was clearly not paying attention to the fact that this is not with me. I should not be adding there. There's nothing, no point. It might have been listening. It might have been audio box. Audio box might have been cueing me. That's a possibility. I have to go back and listen to the tape. I've got the audio off here so it doesn't sound crazy, me talking over me at the same time. Yeah, so see, I'm starting to pull it back. I'm like, dude, this is not working out well for me. And I'm realizing, dude, all this stuff is going against me. So this thing starts to push up. I go ahead and I'm ready to close out this position. I don't think I took a loss here. Unless I'm misrecalling. I don't think trade 4 was a loss. Let's see. I'm really holding that out here. I think audio box is the only thing, and that PRZ probably still attracting me to this position here. But again, we really want to be able to hit target 1 right there immediately, because I still have nothing off of this chart, nothing off of this chart. I'm still sitting here trying to fight with this on this one. So again, a mistake of a trade. Okay, there it goes. Okay, good. I did close out the trade. So it wasn't a win, wasn't a loss. It might have been a small amount there because we did take some off as that pushed up. But again, that was a trade. Look, why should I have skipped this trade or really not been greedy? As soon as it even touched there, it got even close, I should have pressed the close button. Everybody see that? Everybody see that? Understand that? Trade 4. If you guys understand it, that was trade 4, put down below. Trade 4, totally get it. Something about trade 4 down in the comments down below if you understand why I should have done that. If you're not, if you got a question around trade 4, put a question if you'd like to see a video specifically around that on, associating each one of these. But it should be that this was only this chart, and I should have been T1 only, and I probably could have made a little bit more out of that trade. So again, critique on myself right there. I'm 4 trades in on the morning, and we are at 500. Let's do that big final trade. Full manual close. Thanks for the labels there, Curtis. 5th trade, YM headshot. All right, so Curtis fast forwarded us to right here. Right there, off the 8s. That is a big trade, right? Now, I've also got a cross coming in here, so I've got to respect that. I originally am starting to look to go, okay, where am I going to put my stops at on this? So I start pushing them out. I originally put them behind this cross here, but I wanted to pull it in as this started to go my direction. I pulled it in behind the moon. Now, one of the things I wanted to point out in this video, I'm probably going to make another one specifically on the differences between moons and crosses. Okay, they are the same logic. However, everybody is asking, well, Vinny, I like the crosses. Why don't I just do the crosses on the higher time frames? I like the moons. One of their advantages is there is still a slight difference in the stop difference. Now, it's not going to hurt you if you got a little more risk and you like it. It's okay. It's not like the end of the world if you're going to do crosses here. However, the stops are going to be a little bit better if you're using these circles on the higher time frames. That is why I use the, I shouldn't say circles, these are bubbles. We call them bubbles. So if you're using the Flowmaster bubbles for your Flowmaster visuals, that is what I would recommend. That's what I do, and that's why we do that. It is different because look, I've got the stops way up here at 34,885, and you'll see that up here, this would only be at 871, and I'm making that measurement there as I'm talking in. You see me bringing my stop in to the top, which is going to be that 3871, and I put it up by a tick at 34,872 right there. Okay, hopefully you guys follow that. Here's my red dot where I added that position. Look at her start to drop. This is awesome. So now, the higher time frame is kicking first. You kind of notice how there's that slowness. Again, this is the pros and the cons of taking a trade off of a higher time frame. Is it's slower, but slower is also you got more time to develop, you've got more time to add to position, and these can turn into really big trades, just like this one ends up turning into around a $900 or $1,000 trade right here. Look at her go as that one goes in there. I am at my max position here now as I add that 5th contract to the position. I'm going to try to maximize the move. I've got a target that I should be, see that right there? There's a mistake right there. I should be moving. I'm talking too much. I can tell. I'm over there trying to explain what's happening in my stream, but I'm not paying attention to the fact that, look right there, that target should have been, see that? I lost some ticks right there. That target should have been, I should have moved that on the PRZ right there. And so it cost me a few ticks right there. And it's not just a couple of ticks. I mean, it's times multiple contracts. That was silly, right? Now, again, I'm going to say, like, a lot of this, we're doing this for educational purposes, trying to make sure that we've really getting all that information. So I'm making sure that we get that. But, when you're talking through this stuff and you're trying to trade at the same time, that's very, very difficult, especially with the speed at which we play. Because, again, we approach the market like a video game. But you guys should have been able to see that pretty easy. If you weren't gabbing on like I am, you probably would have seen that, and you would have probably just put your, one of your targets right there on that PRZ, like I teach you guys to do. And I normally do as well when I'm not gabbing. So this thing starts going, it keeps going. I've got 2 contracts on now, so I took 3 off there, and boom, another one goes down and hits. So I've got 1 contract left. I don't remember if I added to this position, if I get another entry. We're right here at the open line. I remember making note of that.
Harmonic pattern. NASDAQ
This sucker
on
is
the
just,
twos.
I mean, this headshot. Again, this is a headshot play. If you guys have not recognized this is a headshot there. And I think I saw PRZ. A little bit nervous about that. I add to position as that blue dot breaks. And we start to hear audio box. Audio box at this time is going blah, 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 and I'm trying to hold out till I see a green. There's my green, and I close out the position. Look at that big move. I think that was just a celebratory thing there. Let's see, what does that put us at? Yeah, boom. So we exit on the green right there. There is the big dog move right there. Very nice. Again, headshot is the main entry off of the 8s. That's the difference when you pull them off of that higher time frame. What did we also have back behind it? We also had that nice butterfly harmonic back here on that. So lots of good opportunities to get that one right there. You know, not every trade is going to be that sweet and that perfect, but again, when they come off of the higher time frame, that's the thing. You got to wait for them, right? They take forever, but man, they can really pay off. And you saw how we worked all that. If you guys got questions around any of that, you know, this is a really good skill. Probably today is a great day to go and download. Today is from Market Replay. I'm talking about Market Replay. Great day to go and download for practice. This is really good work to work through multi positions. You know, maybe work through the trades that I took. Here, we talked a lot about this at the end of the video. I went through more detail, so I won't waste that here tonight with you guys. You hung out with me here for 20 minutes. Hey, but I want to tell you something else before you go. DTP, if you guys have missed out on some of the drama on what's going on with that DTP group, the expose, man, wait till you guys see the next video. I'm going to be releasing that here later on tonight. I'm going to show some things. They are doing some major cleanup. All of a sudden, after we've exposed them, they are deleting. They're going over, they are deleting their whole Discord channel. They have literally deleted every YouTube video they have. These are the people that you were saying, oh, we've never deleted anything, we've never pulled anything, and then in one expose, boom, everything is being deleted. But there is a catch, folks. I was way ahead of them on that. I've recorded everything. So folks, hang tight and good night. I will catch you guys on the flip side. For me, Pippi, Robbie, Lunchbot, Mod Squad, Curtis, G, and the rest of the gang. Let's send out that big H-Town. See ya.